Wolong, meaning hidden dragon, is an appropriate name for a game that feels like it's basically come from nowhere to tear up the action RPG landscape, which isn't to say it doesn't adhere to some of the frameworks. The legacy of Neo and Dark Souls is still present, but by removing the traditional constraints of the subgenre, Wolong takes soaring flight. You are an unnamed warrior, a nobody who gets tangled up in a monumental event. As if to drive home your nobody status, the very first boss might be the toughest in the entire game. You encounter this giant of a man before you have any major skills, spells, or special weapons to call upon. He's only the first boss, but he still has 2 tough-as-nails phases. Beating him is the price of admission, a test to prove that you're ready to stand beside the heroes of Chinese legend. Wolong's combat is a big change of pace from other Souls-likes and even Team Ninja's own Neo 2, where they emphasize searching for openings to land deadly strikes and making sure your own defenses don't falter. Wolong has a flow that is less back and forth and more constantly in motion. This is down to the lack of a Souls-like staple, stamina, which has been replaced by your spirit gauge. You're free to attack, block and dodge as much as you like when the gauge is positive, but you've got to time your moves right. Playing too defensively, spamming your most powerful attacks, or getting blocked by your opponent reduces your spirit, which will leave you stunned when it's fully negative. Spells are all tied to each of the game's 5 stats. Spells aren't something you can build around, you use them to complement moves by adding lightning to a blade or planting a circle that slows enemies. The Spirit Summons are a special ability you can call upon after filling a meter that lets you bring in a powerful entity to back you up with serious buffs. These summons are an ace up your sleeve to claw back a victory from the jaws of defeat. Stuff like this meant I never felt hopeless in Wolong. It might honestly be the peak of the action RPG arc. The time between encountering a seemingly unbeatable foe to absolutely kicking their ass is the shortest loop of its kind I've played. Exhilarating feels quite inadequate as a description. The only place it falters is in Team Ninja's commitment to randomly generated loot. I found it hard not to long for Elden Ring's more bespoke item placement, while organizing my inventory to clear out 12 of the same trousers. Other than this though, there's not much bad to say about this game, not until you look at the technical performance on PC. Frame rate's generally held at 60 FPS, although there is no unlocked option. But in spots there were some dire dips that risked bringing the game to a halt. In addition, there were a few visual bugs like a strange glow that would take over the entire screen until I reloaded. I also encountered a couple of crashes, not something you really want in a game where every inch of progress is hard won. Tinkering with the settings can boost performance, but there's not much that can be done about the glitches without a patch. Apart from these technical blemishes, Wolong is an exceptionally accomplished evolution. It doesn't have the same variety as something like Elden Ring, but its focus on wuxia-style martial arts puts it a cut above its peers. It's a game where challenges feel exciting rather than punishing, because the learning curve is so exquisite and mastery feels sublime. Team Ninja has really managed to push the envelope, and lovers of wuxia cinema and action RPGs had best not miss this one.